is there a plan B? I know Xavier Gutierrez spoke afterwards and didn't take any questions. And so maybe we're kind of in the dark a little bit, but I know you outlined in your column just that, there could be maybe something with downtown now that Robert Sarver's not with the Suns anymore. Mesa was potentially another option. Like, which of the potential options are the most viable, and how quickly can they put together a plan? Because it's not as if they just put together this plan for Tempe in a week. Like, this takes time. Where is plan B at? Or do you even think there's a plan B right now because everyone seems so shocked at the results from last night?
Yeah, when I spoke to Javier Gutierrez early in the process, he admitted to me that, look, it would be insane for us not to have a plan B. But I just don't know that they've gotten very far down that road because all of their focus was on this Tempe deal, and all of their messaging was about this Tempe deal, as it should have been, because you certainly don't want a future potential partner thinking that you're also looking other places and making contingency plans, even though you have to. Of the sites that I outlined, every one of them has a problem. If they go back to what is now Footprint Center, what used to be America West Arena, their home when they arrived from Winnipeg, they'll have the same issues that they had originally. It's not built for hockey. You have obstructed views on the entire north end, and they'd be a tenant in somebody else's building, so you're losing all those ancillary revenue streams that forced them to leave in the first place. I have a hard time believing that the city of Phoenix would approve a second arena downtown that would compete with Footprint and take away entertainment dollars, et cetera, from the Suns. So it's really hard to envision anything unless new Suns owner Matt Ishbia wants to buy the Coyotes. And again, I can't imagine that happening either. He just completed the sale of the Suns. So then you start looking around the valley. There's an old mall in Mesa, Fiesta Mall, that really needs renovation. But if you go to that site, you're a little farther away. So it creates location issues. Again, not quite as extreme as Glendale, but certainly some location issues. And you probably have another public vote involved. If you go to the tribal lands, you have issues with gaming because you can't walk onto reservation land and claim all of the gaming rights from a casino. And you also have land ownership issues to deal with. So there are problems with every one of these sites. Now, in terms of a timeline, I guess theoretically, they're planning to play 3 more seasons at Mullet anyway. I guess you could get something done on one of those sites. But as you mentioned, there was so much planning that went into this Tempe site. Unless you can transfer this deal over, I don't know how you get it done that quickly. And I can't imagine the NHL having the patience to say, sure, play 5 seasons at 4,600 seat Mullet Arena.
I do want to get to that in a moment here, because there's a lot of tentacles to this. But I did want to talk about Alex Morello for a second, the owner of the Coyotes. This obviously didn't go in his favor, much to what everyone was expecting. But what do you think the next steps for him here are? And do you think, with the team not likely staying in Arizona long term, do you think he'd be open to relocating, or do you think he might just try and cut his losses and sell the franchise and let somebody else move it?
I honestly don't think the league will allow him to own this franchise in another city. So I would just take that off the board immediately. And I also have to wonder about the league's appetite for keeping Alex Morello, even if they were to remain in this market. Look, you've got a lot of bad history here. Obviously, the Athletic article made all sorts of waves. You have a history of not paying contracts and various debts, whether it's taxes or your debt to the city of Glendale on the arena, and now this. Now you've, in the eyes of many people, mismanaged this campaign very badly. So I'm not sure how much confidence the league would have in the Alex Morello ownership at this point.
Okay, so then now we get to the NHL, and I like that you mentioned that the NHL may not want that. I wonder it feels like the plan to stay at Mullet Arena was fine until this deal fell through. Now they're looking at it going, okay, well, this is not sustainable. We were okay with it if you could get an arena deal done. Now that's not happening anytime soon. How quickly do you think the NHL will move on this? Because I talked to Elliot Friedman before, and we talked about, when Atlanta left, the ownership group left the keys on the table, the announcement to moving to Winnipeg was the end of May into June, I think, and it was right before Game 1 of the Stanley Cup Finals. This is a really quick turnaround, and obviously they have to go to a city that is ready for an NHL franchise with an arena in place. And Quebec City, I made the joke half-passingly only because I know they want to keep it east-west, but How quickly do you think the NHL jumps in on this and has to make a decision? Or do you think it's more likely that we see them one more year at Mullet Arena until they can get a really solid plan in place?
Well, the latter is what I've had multiple people suggest to me, that they'll play one more season at Mullet and try and figure out what's coming. It could very well be a lame duck season like the Winnipeg Jets, the predecessor of the Arizona Coyotes, played before they came out here. It's really difficult. But as you mentioned, there is precedent. You can certainly do it if you have everything in place. And I'm sure that the league, just like the Coyotes with contingency plans, has looked at it and tried to figure out what a quick solution might be. Again, I don't know the answer to that. We didn't get any insight from Javier Gutierrez, and even less from Gary Bettman last night in a statement that really didn't say much of anything at all, and notably did not extend a future commitment to hockey in Arizona like many past statements when the Coyotes have been in crisis. So I don't know. We're just going to have to wait and see how this plays out over the next few weeks.